I don't think it's for me to make a judgment at this time as to how the Constitution should be written.
Sir Zelman, do you feel that the Labor government, if it's returned to office, could strip you of many of your powers?
I don't know.
Could you see great changes in your office as Governor-General?
I really can't foresee the future in this way.
Well, the position of Governor-General has become, if you like, somewhat unenviable now in light of the decision that Sir John Kerr took in November 1975.
It was an important office, and it is an important office.
Sir Zelman, what do you see as the major part of your duties?
Serving the public interest.
Sir Zelman,
according to the Constitution. Really, you know, at this stage, it's too early for me to say. In the time ahead, particularly before I assume office, there's a great deal that I want to think about. And in the future, there's very much that I have to learn. Really, this has only come upon me very recently. And for me to try and answer that question in any length, even though I've studied the matter, is really not possible.
When were you first approached for the position, sir?
Some little time ago.
You supposed to how long ago, sir?
Oh, some weeks ago.
Just weeks, not months, 3 months ago?
Some little time ago.
Was this a complete shock to you?
When I was approached, of course it was.
Was it a very difficult decision to make, to decide to be Governor-General?
The first thing was to go back and to talk to my wife. She is very important in my life, and it had to be her judgment as well as my judgment. And when she said that it was acceptable to her, it was certainly acceptable to me, and then I said so.
Do you see it as fundamentally altering your whole way of life?
Well, when I look around me today and see what's here, my life's not been quite like this.
I should ask you this question. Why is the position, as Sir Zelman said, fundamentally acceptable to yourselves, particularly in light of the controversy that it has created recently?
Well, because I think he'd do it very well.
Sir Zelman, could you expand on that? What made you take the job?
I think it's an enormous honour. And I said, and I don't really want to be pretentious, but I said yesterday that it's an opportunity to render public service. In a sense, the whole of my life's been public, in the sense that my life's been, if you like, in universities, and the last 10 years as a Vice-Chancellor, but I've had a lot of public involvement. And the thought of rendering public service in this way is a very pleasing, if formidable one.
Do you believe that any Governor-General after 1975 can hold a respect to the Australian people?
I should hope so.
So what sort of qualities do you see you bringing to this office?
I think one wants to be very careful and not pretentious. I care a great deal. I care a great deal about many public concerns, and I think care and concern for the public weal is important.
So you see in your own role here as Vice-Chancellor, you've often been surrounded by demonstrations. Do you feel that you're confident that you can handle this sort of problem again in your role as Governor-General?
If it comes, I can only do my best.
Do you see your role as being an active or passive Governor-General?
I see my role as doing my duty. And I would hope that as Governor-Generals in the past have had the opportunity, so I would have the opportunity to speak many occasions and hope to say something thoughtful and hope to say something useful and hope to help in making a useful contribution to the quality of public life in this country.
Your appointment is a political one, sir, or at least one of political convenience.
I don't make anything useful and hope to help in making a useful contribution to the quality of public life in this country.
Your appointment is a political one, sir, or at least one of political convenience.
I don't make any comment about that at all. I was invited to accept this office. It was a staggering invitation. It did me great honour, and I was honoured to accept it.
Well, the question is, do you think you're being used in a political sense?
I've answered the question as best I can answer.
Sir Zelman, are you or have you ever been a member of a political party?
The answer to that is no and no.
Thank you.
You have been at least portrayed as a small L Liberal. Would you say that's correct?
Well, I believe in what I understand to be small L liberal values. I believe in the values of the private man. I believe in the values of the free man.
Sir Zelman, do you think that the exit of Sir John Kerr is going to end, if you like, a particularly turbulent time in Australia's Governor-Generalship and also Australia's politics?
I wouldn't wish to comment on that.
Lady Anna, how do you view the social aspect of this sort of job?
Daunting.
Why daunting?
Well, just look around. I'm just not used to this. We've been in the public domain for 10 years now. But if this is the scale of the new job, it's something I'll have to get used to.
May I say a word about that? I do want to say something positive. My wife is the greatest asset I have. Some of the local papers have said something about her this morning, and whatever I will do, she will adorn this office.
Sir Zelman, could I ask you, do you have an opinion on the idea of Australia becoming a republic?
No, I do not have an opinion. I don't believe that in Australia at the present time there is a prevailing Republican sentiment. I think we have a long history of association with the United Kingdom and a long history of association with the monarchy. I believe that the patterns, the constitutional patterns and attitudes have changed somewhat. In other words, our whole set of relationships have changed. But I do not believe that Republican sentiment is a prevailing sentiment in this country.
Well, Sir Zelman, can you see many fundamental changes at all in the role of Governor-General?
I believe that as I see the role of the Governor-General, and I tried to describe that before, I believe that role continues, and it's a role that I will discharge to the best of my
But already
ability.
there's a great deal of political pressure to change the role of Governor-General, perhaps to strip some of the powers that you have.
Again, I've said that I don't really want to make